Hello, I'm Dr. Leon Stutzman, aka Doc, with another one of these little videos designed to help you to experience God's best and come into every good thing that God has for your life. And God has something more for you. He really does. I'm talking this week about the woman that broke the alabaster box full of precious ointment over the head of Jesus. The Bible tells us in Mark the 14th chapter, the 4th verse, that the people gathered at the feast were indignant within themselves and they murmured against her. They began to make accusation. As long as you're living in guilt and condemnation, as long as you're living in accusation, you'll never appropriate the promises of God for your life. You'll never come into every good thing that God has for your life, which is why the Bible said in Romans the 8th chapter, the 1st verse, there's therefore now no condemnation to those that are in Christ Jesus, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. For the law of the Spirit of life in Christ Jesus has made me free from the law of sin and death. Immediately, as you read the scenario in Mark the 14th chapter, Jesus jumps in and he begins to defend the woman. He said, let her alone. Why trouble her? She's done what she could, and that's all that God requires of you. God just requires of you to do what you can. Jesus became her advocate, just as Jesus is your advocate. Would you say it out loud? Jesus is my advocate. He's your advocate for sin. The Bible said in 1 John, the 1st chapter, the 8th verse, if we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. The good news is, even though the Bible said that you have sin, there are sins of commission, there are sins of omission, there are sins of degree. Even though the Bible said you have sin in your life, Jesus is standing at the right hand of the Father right now to make intercession for you, to be your advocate, to be your attorney, your lawyer. And the Bible said if we confess our sin, he's faithful and just to forgive our sin and cleanse us from all unrighteousness. The slate is wiped clean, and you are standing before God, the righteousness of God in Christ. Think about that for just a moment. That ought to cause you to live above guilt, condemnation, and accusation and appropriate the promises of God for your life. I want to encourage you today to experience Jesus as your advocate, to know that he's standing at the right hand of the Father right now, interceding for you, and that good things are going to happen in your life. This Sunday at Aspire Church, pull your chair to the table. Feasting at the King's Table is the message. It'll show you how to come into the blessing of God. It's powerful stuff. Catch it live on the live stream at AspireChurch.tv, Facebook Aspire Church TV. That's Facebook Aspire Church TV, live stream AspireChurch.tv. Sunday morning, 10 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be prophetic, and it's going to help you to pull your chair up to the King's Table. I'm Dr. Leon Stutzman, a.k.a. Doc. I'll see you Friday, and I'll see you on Sunday.